last week, the House passed the One Beautiful Bill Act, as they call it. And we need to talk about what happens next, because now it is headed to the Senate. Trump would love for his bill to be passed by July 4th. I can't see that happening. But Scott Bessent says this bill needs to be passed by the end of July in order to avoid a debt default, which means that they need to raise the debt ceiling. That is included in this big, ugly ass bill. Let's look at the Senate schedule for the next couple of weeks. So the week of May 26th, they're off, which is this week. They come back June 2nd. They work that full week. They work the full week of the 9th, which they technically don't really always work the full week. Depends on when they adjourn. Then it looks like they'll be in from the 16th to the 18th, and then they're off the 19th, 20th for Juneteenth, and then they come back the 23rd. Then they're off another week for 4th of July, and then they come back for 3 weeks. So that puts us at the end of July. That's not a lot of time in Senate time. So I don't see how this bill is going to get passed, and it's definitely not going to get passed before 4th of July. This weekend, Senator Ron Johnson came out and said that he does not believe that Republicans have the votes to pass the reconciliation bill. As I said, they needed 50. They can only afford to lose 3, and 4 right now say they are likely going to oppose this. On the other side, Schumer came out yesterday and said that Democrats will not be voting for this bill, and it's a handout to billionaires, so they are going to get 0 Democratic votes. They need to pass this bill all on their own. Because this is a reconciliation bill, there are certain requirements, and this bill will hit against the Byrd Rule. And that means that this reconciliation bill must be related to spending or raising revenues. So that means that there will be amendments, and whatever changes are made in the Senate will have to go back to the House. And then there's likely going to have to be some negotiations between the two chambers to try to figure out if they can come to an agreement. Do you understand how long this is going to take? This is one of the provisions that likely will be taken out. It says the House bill will ban states and localities from regulating artificial intelligence for a decade, giving federal government more control over the policy. This is a bad policy, and it could impact elections. So in conclusion, there's 2 scenarios that can happen. One is they pass the bill and they get that done before August recess. If Republicans cannot pass their own bill before August, that means that Democrats will have to decide if they're going to help Republicans raise the debt ceiling or if they're going to fight against it. I don't know what Chuck Schumer will do in this situation, so we need to pay close attention to this and see what we're going to do, because if we don't pass a debt ceiling, we will default on our debt. So more to come on this.